got my little drinky. That one. Names. The names are protected to preserve the saints' ash. And this dripping cow. Her head is away, her head away. So what I'm drinking is vodka. No, it's not. What that? Blood. Children's blood. No, it's not. Nun's vaginal discharge. Now, cut. Blessed Saint Mary, Mother of many more. Yeah. I'm uploading now. Got my drink. I hate the sound of children outside. Idiots. This is it. So I'm drinking whiskey, Jack Daniels, and Coke. It's 10:15 on my old Casio. I usually get the same one, a digital one, worth £20. But the strap always snaps whilst I'm wearing it. It snaps and the watch falls off. Must be the effect of water on the rubber. That's my guess. Not much doing on a Sunday today. Yeah, since the collapse of society this year. So the virus is raging, but the powers that be here have decided you can all go to the pub. You can all go back to the gym. The kids can go back to school. Yes. Well, I think those people have decided that. Should go back to the doctors. See if their organs are failing. Namely that one up top, brain. It's an organ. Doesn't move about. That's what it is. Brain fail. By the government. All together. Go back to work. Liver fail. Need to run away. Lung fail. I need to get my spleen fail. I need more sex. Kidney fail. Is that it? I don't know. Just don't know. Probably the liver, kidney. I need to kill the wife. Heart fail. I need to kill myself. Fail. Darwin fail. Nine coronas. corner shop fail. Eh, eh. Isn't that sweet silence? Cheers. So yeah, music-wise, good stuff cooking. Did a cool quick bash out of a riff-based track, and it just so happens I can put vocals on in the chorus, and it's pretty funny. It's called Video Game Nerd, and it sounds a bit like a gaming experience. I've got a synth in the side, but it's mainly electric guitars playing riffs and such, just simple stuff. Diatonic bass, usual nerdy indie rock. I don't usually do riffs and that. I just sort of bash them out, jams, one track at a time, and then layer the next one. And I don't like to get self-conscious about bits that aren't working so much, in the terms of it's not perfect timing, it's not the perfect glossy tone each strike, each stroke. That's not what it's about to me. To me, it's about the ups and the downs, peaks and the troughs, and all the way ups and down, in the harmony of the piece, in the harmony from the beginning to the end, like a story, expansion and contraction, like the universe. See? So I've taken a break from my road trip to Canada 5 CD album. There aren't any vocals on it yet. There's only a few of the choruses, the hooks pre-written. It's gone really well. So in the meantime, I've got these riffs and other jams. This one, it was a jazz one, sort of a next step stone on from a song I did on Bad Futon. Don't know if you've heard that. It's on my main channel, Bad Futon. And I've called it Gumshoe. And I'm also going to add a vocal on that. It's sort of, it's going to be a bit like a reference to Blade Runner, I suppose. But it's like a jazz thing. It's going to have like a single word hook, Gumshoe, and then in between 9:45 and all that stuff. So I'll have to research that. I don't usually do gumshoe novels or movies. I don't know any. I only know from the Next Generation Star Trek, Jean-Luc Picard in the holodeck suite. So I might watch some of that to brush up and make references to that. And Blade Runner. Watch that, that's good. But when I was growing up as a kid, there was Star Wars. And if you want more in the same vein, there was Blade Runner, next best thing. But when you're a kid about 10-year-old, Blade Runner just seems very boring and dry compared to Star Wars. So I didn't watch it much, hardly. Now, I like it for that slow pace and the brilliant cinematography. Having name salad now, pardon me. Who was it that I ate? Is that Pawn Star? Say no more. Nudge, nudge. I'm your man. Oh, your money back. Roll lizards on the same hot rock. Pardon me. So I was thinking, I don't know whether I'll get round to it, but that Poison album, the first one, look what the cat dragged in. I was thinking I'd like to, love to have a finished product, a redo of my own performance of the whole thing. I think that'd be something to have on the shelf and keep going back to. Don't think I'll get around to it ever. I've already got one song, the ballad from that. I Won't Forget You, acoustic version. Proud of it. Maybe a dubstep version of the rest of it. I don't know. Quasi-electronic with all the fizz and dribble. Maybe a jazz version. All crazy and loose. I was just thinking people might be wondering how I get my performance on my records. I don't rehearse much at all. I just knock them out. And when I'm bored, I tend to get rid of that track. Or if I'm bored of half of it, I can cut that off. I did that on a track called Humpty. It's on an album called Tricks, which is on my main channel. It's the last track, Humpty, and it's sort of riff-based, typical groove from Ish rock. And in the middle there's a solo, and I jammed it out first time, but it was twice as long. But when I cut it in half, it was satisfying. Further on, it was more lumpish towards the end, clusterish, instead of expressive. I also cut out half of a saxophone and bass jam in another track on that. It's a jazz one with a do-do-do-do-do-do theme, Rainy Day or something like that. The theme for that do-do-do-do-do-do, and all the parts like it going along with it. I jammed out at the keyboard straight into the door, but first I rehearsed them how I heard them, and I didn't use a pen on that, nor any of the others. It was pretty much straight away, so I used that theme as it was. And at the end of the theme on that album, if there's a theme, I just sort of jammed it out as I felt it at the time. I tend to do that if there's a theme on the other records as well, just jam it. The fills and trails. Practicing themes I don't enjoy. Because what I find is I get them right if it's middle level, first time, and then all kinds of things happen. I get ideas, bits are detracted from, other bits added to, and then I can't play them how I liked them the first time, so I leave it. I've learned that's part of my creative personality, my creative force. Trying to find notes was a major drive when I was a middle-level guitarist for so long. Interesting notes. To me, first of all, it's just how I got there to satisfy my ears was I used diatonic chords and then the neighbour keys in my songs, writing about going backwards and forwards there. And then in the middle bit, a more long-armed reach out to the edge and back about as far as it'll go. Did that over and over in my songwriting. And in phrases main phrases try to find the phrase that you could sing over and over again or play over and over again, and it would mean mainly the same thing with with no mistake. No, it doesn't mean that when you're singing those words on top. Point of view. But when you're singing those words over and over, and you find different ways of expressing them, they can seem like you're not singing those words, and you just dreamscaping. So in the 90s, I was trying to write songs, but I was smoking a lot of cannabis then. So as I was writing them and coming up with the bits that I was interested in, I couldn't remember them and play them back again. And it went on for ages and ages. So eventually I gave up. And a few years later I got engrossed in Tai Chi and having left the guitar, and then when I was well again off the cannabis and that, I started again to write. But the cannabis left its mark. I was traumatised from the self-harm, from the 10 years of using it. Even palsied. I couldn't motivate my body and mind positively, awake, bright, mindful, without palsying, like shaking and as if drained or held back, chained. But over the years I've healed from that. Meditation, a Buddhist meditation, it's helped a lot. The Tai Chi. The 90s were a very unhealthy period for me, but since then I've been getting better and better, and now I'm very, very happy. I'm punch drunk most of the time. But over the past few years it's been like too happy and then frightened in between of losing it. Before that it was like steady away. But society's changed and now we've got this virus pandemic. And I think I'm coping very well. Go to the shop, I'm getting plenty of sleep, exercise. I haven't been a sex maniac with the pornography. That's why it was hyperactivity before. The sex mania with the porn. I mean, well, I was over 40, so I figured I might as well indulge. But with the holding it in, G-wise, I got rough. And got a hernia. Careless toilet. I've had a repair and a mesh put in. It's a really good job. I can barely feel it day in, day out. Sometimes I feel the scar burn, but that's very rarely. And there was a quasi hernia on the other side, the groin. And over the years, the past couple of years, that has healed up as well. It felt like a grapevine tree root pushing up from underneath, red hot spiky. But it's eased down most time. I feel anything there. Doctor said I didn't need a repair because they can stitch them up and that, but they're known to break open again. So after me hernia repair, I took great care of myself. I was laid down for about a year. Healing just to make sure, because I was on my own here in the flat, and I just watched. I subscribed to all of the TV things on the internet, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and later even Now TV, which is like Sky Atlantic and that. That was fun, which nearly everything that would interest me back then. And I would just eat, drink, watch TV lying down, hobble to the toilet and back. And then one day I felt energized. So I got up and made an album in about a week and a half. That's the on my main channel. That's the one with the car, the TR7, the white TR7 with like logs and stuff on. It's like a frown name, frown throne. Made that in about a week and a half. I already had 3 drum tracks from before. The first track was the rock one. Did that straight off. You know, like one day. There's now 2. It's mostly jam. Then the last track, decided, go back to riffing. Did like a Kurt Cobain grungy riff. With nods to Black Sabbath's Laguna Sunrise, I think it's called. Like that swampy sound. Didn't use compression on the instrument tracks on that because I was new to using it. I think I used it on the master track, I'm not sure. But there was another track I did. It was like a city entanglement, ready to go up in flames sort of thing. Big, massive city across the water. Guitars on both sides. But I couldn't get the balance right, so I added compression and limiter on them. But it was rubbish. Couldn't get it loud enough, no matter what I did, so I dumped it. And called that album finished. I'll go back to my gaming now. Nice talking to you. And remember not to overdo it, whatever you're doing. Take frequent breaks, 15 minutes each hour. If you're going to do something and you get brain freeze and the panics and the angers and the blames, stop, breathe, enjoy the spaciousness of not having to do anything. Just like that, space, have a space. It's not just space, time, everything there. It's time, space. And then, if you really insist on doing the thing you want to do it a little bit after. Everything's air temper, darling. Don't have to fill it up. Ciao, bello.